Hello, good morning.
Hi, Meenu. Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Tell me about yourself.
Very good. I'm doing very well. Hope you had a good Diwali.
Yeah. How did you celebrate Diwali this time?
Yeah. No, so I was traveling to be with family. I was in Gurgaon, and then there was a lot of pollution. So after Diwali, we went for a 2-day vacation to Jaipur.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Anushri, please give a brief introduction.
Yeah. So I'm Anushri Goenka. I live in Bangalore. I am one of the co-founders of this app called Sparky. Sparky is a generative AI buddy for learning, spoken English fluency. I run that business in Bangalore. My background is I'm a computer science engineer and an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. I've been working and have about 13 years of experience, mostly in technology companies building products for consumers.
Okay, that's great. And you have been in spoken English field for how many years?
About 4.5 years now. So we do classes, also online classes, and now we have this generative AI app called Sparky. So across age groups of people, across countries, we've been delivering spoken English fluency and even higher order skills like communication skills.
And I have heard that you have been a public speaker also.
I have, and I think because of the work I do, I get also some opportunities to speak. A lot of people these days want to hear entrepreneurs speak, so I end up getting some opportunities to speak on some podcasts or some conferences that I go to. I enjoy public speaking as well.
Okay, you enjoy because most of the people are scared of that.
Yeah. I know. I think it's a thing that comes with practice, and everyone is scared. I think even I was scared as a young student in school. I also remember being very scared, but I think over time you drop that hesitation and then you actually start to enjoy it. So yeah.
Okay. So many people say I can understand English. I understand each and every word that you are speaking right now, but when it comes to speaking, I get stuck. Words don't come to my mind. If you are one of them, so today we are going to fix this issue, and Anushri and I are going to discuss about this. So why do you think people can understand English but they can't speak?
Yeah. So I think there are two types of uses of language, right? One is input and the other is output. So in input, what you're doing is basically whatever you have learned in school has been on the input method of learning, right? Which is reading and listening.
Correct.
So you have learned words, you have learned some vocabulary, you have had exposure to newspapers, etc., right? So you develop the context, your brain understands what this is about, and that is how naturally a person learns language. The other part is generating your own language. Now, generating your own language is when you're speaking or when you're writing. Those two things require you to create your entire sentences, and it can't come just from memorizing some things, right? Like you can memorize my name is like when I live in Bangalore, I don't speak Kannada, but I have tried to learn a little bit. I have memorized things like my name is Anushri. I know how to say 1, 2, 3 in Kannada. I know how to say no. I know how to say stop. Things like that, right? But that I cannot communicate something more than that in that language, right? So for being able to communicate and actually have a real conversation, use it in a social setting or a professional setting, you need to be able to construct your own full sentences. So you have to think of the words that are needed, and you have to think of the structure that those words have to be put into. Now, this is a thing that typically users in countries like India really suffer from because they have no opportunity to do that. Right, everything is a practice driven thing. If you have the opportunity to read, you can read advertisements on billboards, you can read people use mobiles in English, people read newspapers, everything, right? So opportunity to take input is very high, but opportunity to give output, who do you speak to in English, right? If your family and friends don't speak, or in your office people don't speak that much, or they speak but you're not good, so you're hesitating to speak, right? You're just listening to them also. I think that lack of opportunity is the reason this happens, and the only solution and the way to get to solving this is to do it, right? Like it's okay, first few times you'll feel like my mind goes blank, or maybe you'll have some words and those words will come out very broken, but that's okay. As you keep doing it, your brain develops that muscle, and you obviously need practice and you need feedback. And that's how you can do it.
Correct. So it is very, very effective when you talk to a native speaker, even if it is for 5 minutes. Sparky can act as their language partner. So let's show them how Sparky can give them constructive feedback and correct their mistakes.
Yeah. So we'll show a demo video.
Yeah.
receivable in the healthcare industry?
Because accounts receivable main job role is speaking English in American style. Can you speak like a American style in English, you?
Let's correct that, Leo. Try, the main role in accounts receivable is speaking English in an American style. Can you speak English like an American? Ready for a mock interview?
So we saw how Sparky can correct their mistakes and can act as their language partner. They can practice all day if they want, or they can practice for 10 minutes. So download this app. You will get the link in the description of this video, and you can take the 6-month subscription. I would recommend that one because it will be the cheapest one.
Yeah. So the long, you can also take monthly if you want, but the long subscriptions are very, very cost effective. It's like 100 rupees a month or even lesser. So, and this is unlimited practice. So it's a great thing. You must definitely try it. It's free to try, and you'll find it super useful.
Our school system, focuses on, just, gather the information. So we never get any opportunity to speak. That is why these people are only able to understand English, because school system teaches English as a subject, not as a language.
Correct. To give the school some slack also, it's not their fault. In a classroom of 30, 40 people, how can everyone speak? But everyone can listen. Everyone can read together. So it is how the structure is, unfortunately, there in the schools also.
Correct. The solution is only one. When you write, it forces your brain to, give out that information that you put in your brain. So when you are listening and reading, you are just putting information in your brain. It is never coming out. So when you speak or when you write, then only you give output. So that is what we need.
Correct. So I think that's coming to the second point, right? Like you want to speak to somebody who's speaking correct English. If you're speaking around you, there are people who are not speaking correct English, then your progress by speaking to them is slower. They are not able to give you the right feedback where it's required, right? So with Sparky is a generative AI based friend for you. It's in the avatar of a fox, you can talk to Sparky. You can talk about anything. You don't even have to think about what should I talk about, right? You can talk about today, what did you make for breakfast? You can talk about what you're thinking of doing for the weekend. You can talk about your favorite movie, anything, right? Anything that is relevant to your life. Talk to Sparky. Sparky talks in different accents. So if you want to speak to like a native accent speaker, so you can speak to Sparky in an American accent. Or you feel like that is difficult for you, you want to speak when Sparky talks in an Indian accent, you can do that. You can make the speed of Sparky slow, fast, etc. Right? So you can adjust it for yourself. You can talk about topics that are relevant to your life. Right? Everyone has different things, right? Some people want to talk about their job, some people want to talk about their family, and that creates a very easy, stress-free way to get this practice. And Sparky gives you feedback. Everything that you say, it is able to tell you if you did well, if you made some mistake, it tells you what that mistake is. So that's a great way to get to fluency. And we've seen that people actually really enjoy it also, because Sparky has so much fun stuff to talk about, or Sparky knows everything. So whatever is of your interest, you can talk. So that pressure of when you go into a social setting in front of people, like how do I start speaking, you're more embarrassed than excited, right? So we turn that around. We say, okay, you should be more excited and you should be having more fun. The embarrassment will go away by itself, and with practice and feedback, automatically you get better.
Right. Okay, some people make the mistake that they say that we are devoting 2 hours to learning English. What they are doing is they are just listening to the content. They are memorizing words. So I think that doesn't work. They should write for a while and they should speak every day.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually think that, shorter periods of time, but more frequent.
Correct.
Maybe do it twice a day, do it like for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 times a day. But like do it more often. If you do 2 hours, if you try to take out 2 hours, everyone has busy lives, right? You'll be like Sunday ko karni hai. Now, once a week you lose the sort of rhythm, you lose the practice. It's better to stress lesser on the amount of time, spend less time, spend it every day, and that just becomes a habit. That's how the brain also works, right? If something is a daily habit, it gets into your system much faster, and you'll find it much easier to find 15 minutes than to find 2 hours.
Right, right. And consistency is the key here. If you speak
Yeah.
English for 10 to 15 minutes every single day, your brain will be forced to, make new sentences, remember the phrases and everything. But if you never put any pressure on your brain, you just keep putting information there, then it is not going to work. You will just keep understanding what the other people are saying. You will never be able to form sentences, will not be able to express yourself.
Yeah. It's like watching a sport. No, like if you keep watching someone swimming,
Yeah.
you can't swim. You have to go and swim yourself.
Correct, correct. You are never going to learn swimming by watching other people. Correct. That's true.
Yeah.
Many people don't try to speak English because they are afraid of making mistakes. They think that let us become perfect first. So some of them are perfectionists. They think that let's get perfect first, then we will start to speak. Till then, we will just keep consuming content.
Yeah. No, so I think that's a mistake. When you have to start speaking only, then you get better. The other thing is, I think you have to drop that fear of people will laugh at me. It's okay. If people know that you're not perfect, many people in India are not perfect at English, and we're lucky to be, in that society where it's known, everyone knows it. So don't let it affect your confidence, especially with what you're doing, right? You want to talk in English, you don't want to talk in English, but you're also doing something, right? You are in the social setting as a group of friends, or your society, or your work, your colleagues, your meetings, right? If you're going to continuously harbor that fact that, I'm underconfident, people will laugh at me, your work will also suffer. Like we've seen this in meetings, right? That people who are feeling underconfident, they don't speak. Not only is the English suffering, the professional development is suffering, how people see their leadership skill is suffering, how they get promotion opportunities is suffering, how they crack interviews is suffering. So many other parts of your life start suffering. So it's better to, get rid of that hesitation first before getting to perfection, right? Start speaking. You will at least be valued for whatever else you are speaking, even if your language is incorrect. And you will make faster progress on getting your language to the right place also. So that also goes away over time, right? So I think we have seen that confidence is very close. Like two things that, in 4 years of learning with this market of English learning, what have we learned about people and their lives and how it impacts their life? I would say two things: earning potential and confidence, right? It's a skill, but that skill, how does it impact your life? It lets you earn better, and it makes you feel more confident in any setting, right? We see this even with relatives also. They feel more confident sometimes, right? So I think it's a big impact for people's lives, and if you just drop that fear and start doing it, you can easily achieve it. It's not a very difficult skill.
Right. And the irony is that the people who make fun of those people who are trying to learn a second language, those people themselves are not fluent in that language. They don't want other people
and they
to
can keep
succeed.
laughing. Like,
Let them keep laughing.
But as in, I understand that it's not simple for people. It is humiliating sometimes, which is why, you have solutions like Sparky. That before you, go out into that harsher judgment world, try practicing with this, and you will already be better, and you will gain confidence before talking in front of other people.
Yeah. Gain some confidence by talking to Sparky, and you will get to know where you are making mistakes, and keep practicing, and after that you go out in the real world and then speak. So that will give you a lot of practice. It can be a non-judgmental partner for you.
Yes.
In the end, I would like to know from an English expert who is with us today. So I would like to know what they can do to, improve their English, to become fluent in English.
Yeah. So I think, we covered step 1, which is practice, right? You already understand it, and you will see when you practice that you can talk. Till you do it, you will not know. So give yourself the chance to know that you can. That's number 1. I think the second thing is even in your own mind, right? Like if you're just going about your day, doing whatever, right? Try to think of, if I have to tell someone what I'm doing right now, how will I say it in English, right? Whatever is your thought, once in a while, you're not even saying it to anyone, but in your own mind, just think, okay, right now I'm, cleaning my cupboard. How should I say this line? those types of things also just get, your brain has to get in the flow of finding the
Right,
words.
right,
Think of it as like those words are there in your brain. How do you go and find them? So just try to find opportunities to do that, and you'll stop feeling so blank.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a very good idea. When they are not practicing with the app, then also just keep speaking in your mind. So you will always be giving output. That information that is stored there will come out.
Yeah.
And that is what we need,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I hope all these tips will be very, very useful for my viewers. And this app can really make them fluent. And I think we are getting very good reviews of Sparky app.
Okay, good to know. I know that your users have used it before,
Yeah.
so good to know that they're
So
enjoying
many
it.
users have told me that this is helping them so much. I would request you that you all download this app from the link given in the description and then take for the 6 months plan.
Also, I would say update and use the latest version, because almost every week some improvements are coming out on the app.
Yeah.
So, try to update your app. You will see a lot of new things, like you can choose the accent, you can get feedback. All of that is, now available on the app.
Okay, that's great. The accent one is very good because many people were complaining only about the accent. So
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you for joining us today. Okay.
Thank you, Meenu.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
so
such a
much.
lovely session and very fruitful session for my, viewers. Okay,
Okay.
then. Yeah. Have a great day.
Thank you, Meenu.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay then. Bye-bye.
Bye.